Hi, welcome to the Breaking Limitation Show. My name is Joyce Melendez and I am your host here on today. As you all know, our mission is always to empower, to equip and promote individuals who have overcome great obstacles in their lives and have now discovered their own superpower. Today in the studio, we have one of our special guests all the way from Miami, Florida. His name is Robert Syslo Jr. Robert is a founder. He's the founder and owner of Syslo Ventures, a seven-figure creative agency that's based out of Miami. They are currently serving over 400 clients worldwide. Robert has worked in advertising, production, and marketing industry for 18 years, and he's worked in New York City, New Mexico, Los Angeles, China, Mexico, the Caribbean, and is now based in Miami, Florida. He's been featured in Yahoo Finance, the Chicago Weekly News, Fox TV, USA Today, and his mission is to help enterprise, small business, and entrepreneurs grow and scale their brands, develop products, and increase their market share. So I'm so excited to have Robert Syslo here with us. But before I bring him on, we're going to take a short break and then we'll be right back.
What limitation are you holding on to? The Breaking Limitations Mindset Journal has 63 daily quotes and scriptures that will help you break every limitation in your life. Get your copy today. Represent your commitment to breaking limitations by visiting breakinglimitationsnow.com to purchase your Breaking Limitations t-shirt, tank top, or hoodie today.
Hi, welcome to the Breaking Limitations Show. My name is Joyce Melendez and I am your host here on today. And as I told you previously, we have a special guest all the way from Miami, Florida. His name is Robert Syslo. He is here with us on today in the Breaking Limitations Show, and we are looking forward to learning from him because he's gone through a lot of different obstacles but has been able to discover his own superpower. So Robert, welcome to the Breaking Limitations Show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, it is so good to have you on the show. And we are excited that you're going to share with us a little bit and give us some motivation and equip us so that we can be able to also break limitations like you have. So could you go ahead and just tell our viewers a little bit about who Robert is and what you do?
Sure. So I run a seven-figure creative agency here in Miami. We have about 400 clients around the world that we help to build brands, do lead generation, video production, website design, graphic design, and really coach people on how to build a brand that's really unique to them without having to change themselves or create this other persona that they think needs to be there. So we've been doing that. I've been in advertising for about 18 years now, and have worked with some really large brands throughout those years. It didn't come easy, but we got through right now. And we had COVID that happened last year, but we've been very successful. We just had our highest month this month in sales, so we continue to climb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like that every month actually since January. We've had highest ever, one right after the other. So it's been really awesome to have that happen. But yeah, so that's my background's in production and film. I started when I was 16 years old. I'm 32 now. and just really kept going with it. So yeah.
Wow, that is so awesome to hear, especially to see that your company is growing when during this COVID season, when other companies are shutting down or people are closing down or having to restructure themselves. You actually put yourself in a very unique place whereby everybody is now looking to have an online presence, and that's what you're offering to the people, which is really, really great. But I know that it didn't start this way. I know that it's not. I know people look at you now and they're like, oh, Robert Syslo, he's doing an awesome job. But I know that it's been a journey for you. And so if you could just share with us a little bit about your story, because in this show, we like to just give people steps so that they can be able to see that you can break limitations no matter what obstacles you face, no matter what you go through. So if you could just share with us a little bit about your journey, how did you start?
Sure. So I did not have an easy journey. It wasn't very easy at all. I come from a really rough home. I mean, we were, on the outside, we were your upper middle class family. I mean, we had a nice house, we had a big in-ground pool, we took vacations, we had cool cars, but really the whole family unit was broken. So there's a lot of arguing, there's a lot of fighting, and that was really disturbing for me. I mean, my family, they got divorced when I was 15. So I didn't really have anybody to really understand. And my mom was dealing with that separation the best way she knew how. And so I was just kind of thrust out into the world, unknowing really. Like I had ideas, but what did I really know? And so from about, I would say 17 to about 24, I kept getting involved with the wrong people. I kept aligning with the wrong friends, the wrong jobs, the wrong relationships. So I went from New Jersey to New York City, and I would commute back and forth from South Jersey to New York in this internship. I wasn't getting paid. Wow. So I was just scrounging enough money to take the bus up there to be able to do the job. And eventually, I was going to college up in New York City, and I just decided that it really wasn't for me up there. And I moved across the country to New Mexico, which is like, why would you do that? Yeah. So at that time in 2008, the film industry was offering some really good tax incentives for companies to shoot there. So there were a lot of famous films that were shot during that time, but I never really broke into the space. I really wanted to do film, but I just could not get in there. And so what ended up happening was I found a job with a company online who would send people out to film different establishments and locations and put it online. Like at that time, City Search and Yelp and Yellow Pages were doing like little profile videos for businesses online. This was before it really started taking off with digital. And so I went from having really no production experience to producing about 120 video ads in a span of 90 days. And I didn't get paid a lot for it, but I got a huge experience built under my belt. And most people will go to school for that. Like they'll go to film school, and I studied film, but I would sit there and we're analyzing, 1956 German film, which there's nothing wrong with German film. I love it, but I didn't see an immediate practicality for it. I wanted to create. So I dropped out of school twice again. Wow. And pursued this career in creating little documentary films. So kind of fast tracked through that. I moved to Los Angeles and was in a relationship that did not go very well. Wound up homeless in LA, lost everything, was a total mess. And but I was doing little documentary film things here and there. So that relationship that I was in was probably one of the most abusive experiences I had been through, except there was no support for men who were receiving abuse from the other side. I remember I would call like domestic violence shelters, and they would hang up on me and laugh at me because they're like, that just doesn't happen. And I'm having like panic attacks because I don't know what just happened in my life. So anyway, so it broke down. I went homeless. And then I linked up with a group in Trinidad and Tobago. I didn't know they were there. And they kind of helped me through like that traumatic time. And they were like, well, why don't you just come down here and you could do filmmaking? And I did. So I bought a one-way ticket. I had my suitcase and my camera and took a one-way ticket from LA all the way to Trinidad and Tobago. And if you don't know where that is, it's the last island in the Caribbean chain. It's 7 miles away from Venezuela. So we're talking dramatic change there. And I
Wow.
was there for about a year, island hopping between Trinidad and Grenada. I got fired from the job I was in because I was not getting paid. And so
Mhm.
I started to knock on doors in the city of Port of Spain, and people were like, "You're American. Like, what are you doing here?" I couldn't get work. Nobody would hire me.
Wow.
So I eventually linked up with a guy who sent me to Miami, and I was living in a hostel down there in South Beach in a room with 6 other people, one bathroom, and I was working at Banana Republic, just folding clothes. And I'm like, how the heck did my life end up at this point? And
Mm.
so then I always just kept pursuing wanting to do film. And I was about to go work for Best Buy. And something just said, hey, just go online and take a look. Just see if there's something out there that you could utilize with film. And so I went on, and that's when I landed the gig with my past employer. And I learned sales, I learned marketing, and I really exploded and
Mhm.
went from basically nothing to earning about 485,000 a year. And I
Wow.
scaled and built a $12 million ad agency that didn't exist there pretty much myself.
Mm.
Um, Fast track beyond that, back in 2018, I decided it was time for me to go out on my own, and I started my own business.
Mhm.
We're a multi-million dollar business right now, and now I'm talking to you on this interview. So that's like a brief overview of me.
Wow, that is so, so powerful. There are so many things that I didn't even know, because I knew like just the different experiences, but I didn't know how you had got all the things you had gone through. And that is so good. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I know there are so many people out there who might look at you and say, oh, I want to be like this, or I want to do this, but then they're not willing to do the work, or when they go through things, you didn't, no matter what you experienced or what you went through, you didn't give up on your dream, which is so, so important. So viewers, if you're out there and you have a dream, just make sure you just keep pursuing your dream no matter what, even if your situation looks like so different from what your dream looks like. Just keep pursuing, because a time will come when you'll be able to to discover that dream, and you'll be able to do what Robert is doing right now. So this is really, really good. So what I wanted us to also talk about is just a little bit about what you're currently doing now. So what I'll do is, first I'll take a short break, and then when we come back, I want us to talk about what you're currently doing, because I know your experience right now is really important, especially for this season that we're in, where everybody is trying to do branding or to be on the online space and all that. So guys, go ahead. Yeah, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Represent your commitment to breaking limitations by visiting breakinglimitationsnow.com to purchase your Breaking Limitations t-shirt, tank top, or hoodie today. What limitation are you holding on to? The Breaking Limitations Mindset Journal has 63 daily quotes and scriptures that will help you break every limitation in your life. Get your copy today.
Hi, welcome to the Breaking Limitation Show. My name is Joyce Melendez, and if you are just joining us, we have here in the studio Robert Syslo Jr. all the way from Miami, Florida, and we are talking about some of the things that he went through in order to be able to establish his company, which he has right now. And so right now we just want to talk a little bit about having an online presence and branding and all that, which is something that he has specialized in, and he's doing an amazing job. So Robert, if you could just go ahead and just share with us. I know in this COVID season, everybody has discovered that they have to have an online presence. They have to do some kind of branding and all that. And so what would you advise someone who is trying to get into that space, whether it's a company that's already existing or someone who's just starting out?
Yeah, so if you're just starting out in that particular space, realistically, people think that they have to have millions of dollars and all these cool features and, cars and all this stuff to be able to make it. And the truth of the matter is that's not really true. What you really need to have is, like we talked about a little bit, you have to have this persistence to be able to play the long game, and you have to have a certain level of integrity and ethics, right? So the people out there, they'll sell you a funnel, they'll sell you all this stuff, but they're missing that fundamental first end piece, which is the ability to communicate exactly what it is that you bring to the marketplace and why people should listen to you, right? You need to be able to understand all the viewpoints of where somebody is going through on the other side of what you know. Like there's no such thing as one message fits all, or one video does the trick, or I spent $10,000 for 3 months and it worked. That's just not what we're living in right now. You have to play a very aggressive game in communication and basically blanketing all these different platforms and profiles. And so what we do is we really go in there and help you discern what those different levels of communication are and what those things need to be. So our job is to bring it together in a place where they understand exactly what it is that they're communicating out into the marketplace and how they can help more people with their products and services without having to create a crazy offering or become something that they're not. It's really just a matter of communication on that front.
Wow, that is really, really important, because I know that a lot of people are really struggling in this area because of just trying to be able to set themselves up, or being able to send the right message, or people are buying all these different funnels or buying different things, and yet it's still not working out for them. So guys, this is really, really good information. So Robert, if you could just go ahead and just just give us your social media platforms and your different platforms on how people would be able to reach you, so that if someone doesn't watch the show till the end, at least they'll be able to know how to get access to you.
Of course. So you can follow me anywhere at Robert Syslo Jr. You could go to our website, sysloventures.com. Take a look at what we have. We have courses, we have training. I have a ton of content on there about marketing and branding that you can utilize today, and it'll just put you in a better position to learn.
Yes. And so do you offer, like, I know you said you offer some trainings. Do you offer like individuals or just to companies and corporations?
No, we train individuals as well. We work with everyone. So, I mean, we have Fortune 5,000 companies that we market for. We even work with we work with an influencer, startups, mom and pop shops, whoever it is, we're able to help.
Okay. Okay, that's really good, because I know a lot of people are struggling in this area. And so I wanted to bring someone who can be able to just share the information and also just share your journey, so that people can see that it is doable. Because I think sometimes when you meet people at the end of their tunnel, sometimes people are always excited, or people feel intimidated, like maybe I can never get to that space. But just hearing your story and hearing all the things you've been able to go through and where you are right now, it really encourages us to know that we can start from where we are. So if you have a small business, or if you have if you have a small company and you've been wanting to have an online space, I would definitely encourage you to make sure you just reach out to Robert and his company, and you'll definitely be in good hands, because I've used some of the things that he has given us and some of the things that he has sent to us, some videos and flyers and everything, and it has been very, very helpful even for my own business. So Robert, if someone was trying to get into the industry that you're in, what are some of the things that you would just tell them to do, so that they don't have maybe to go through all the experiences that you went through?
Well, I mean, number one is just really invest into yourself and understand the different types of personalities that exist out there. Don't take anything at just what somebody says. Really look at what it is that they're actually doing. I never do anything on an idea, a dream, or a concept. I do something based on what's proving to be working right now. And so that really just protects you in the long run. And then just really reinforce your crafts and spend a lot of time learning, practicing, studying. Let everybody else go out and do what they want to do. Let everybody else complain about what's happening in the world. You just get focused on how to help people more efficiently and understand your game and your knowledge better, so that you're able to perform and win in life.
So guys, if you're out there and you want to get into media, into marketing, into branding, because I know a lot of people are really good in this area, or they want to pursue this area, just make sure that you are working on your craft every day, so that when you go out there, someone will be able to notice your work, because there's a lot of competition. But you know what? The most important thing is being authentic. Just be you. And I think one of the most powerful things that you've ever taught that really helped me was when you told us not to be copying other people's posts. because that's something people always do. You just see a good post, oh, that sounds so good, and you copy that and post it as your own, but that's not, you don't even understand the background of that post. If you could just talk about that, because I think that's so important and it happens all the time. So if you could talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, people copy because they don't trust their own viewpoints and their own understanding of something to be able to make a difference. So our job is to really make sure that it's okay to communicate yourself. It's okay to communicate what you know, and you should do that. That's why people buy from you. And all the people that are winning out there on social media right now, what they're really doing effectively is they're just being themselves. And I know people are like, hey, just be yourself. Well, you may not know what that is. So just take a minute and just take inventory of everything that you know, everything that you understand, and that's going to give you a firm platform to be able to help others. So don't copy because somebody else is already saying that. That's not you. People are going to buy from you because of who you really are.
That's really, that's so good, because in this day and time where authenticity is rare, so so it's so important for people to be authentic, be authentically you, and present yourself even on social media or whatever you're presenting or selling or anything like that. Just be you and let it, whatever you're posting, let it have your voice instead of just copying other people's posts. And I found that to be like that. That really stood out for me. And I've been, every time when I'm trying, even when I want to copy a post that I think is so good, then I remember your voice saying, okay, don't copy other people's posts. Then I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me leave that alone. I'll just like it and all that. So that's really good. So thank you so much for just gracing us with your presence. I know that you are so busy, but you took your time out to be with us here on the Breaking Limitation Show, and we are really excited to see what you're doing. We are following you on Facebook, we are following you on Instagram, and so if you could just give our viewers one more time, just give them your social media platform so we make sure that they are following you and also on your website.
Absolutely. So you can follow me at Robert Syslo Jr. on any social platform, or you can visit sysloventures.com. And that's our main website where we have everything and how we help people.
Awesome. So Robert, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. It's been so good having you here, sharing with us, and we'll definitely would love to have you come again and just give us some tips or even do some online trainings or anything like that. So we are really happy to have you here, and I know that and we wish you all the best even in your company. So we're gonna go ahead. Yes, so we're gonna go ahead and take a short break, and then we'll be right back.
Represent your commitment to breaking limitations by visiting breakinglimitationsnow.com to purchase your Breaking Limitations t-shirt, tank top, or hoodie today. What limitation are you holding on to? The Breaking Limitations Mindset Journal has 63 daily quotes and scriptures that will help you break every limitation in your life. Get your copy today.
Wow, that was such a wonderful session with Robert Syslo Jr. He just gave us so many great tips on how we can be able to market ourselves and brand ourselves online. So make sure you're following him on all his social media platforms. And for us here, we are so focused in making sure we are equipping you with all the great people so that you can be able to learn, can be able to be equipped, and can be able to just become everything that God intended for you to be. So make sure you're following us on our website, you're following us on our social media platforms and on the show so that you can be able to see us again in our next episode. Thank you so much.